welcome back to a new episode of NH Unscripted. My sweet Lord, I am your George Harrison, like host Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the not-so-overly ostentatious digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. You know the drill. Break out your transistor radios, fire up the lava lamps, hit that incense, kick back on the waterbeds because we are coming in hot. You will find us on your transistor radios at 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester, and nhtalkradio.com is our URL. And there's a lot happening out there. I'll get into a little bit about that later. I need to thank my sponsor, the law offices of Shaheen and Gordon. They're about a stone's throw away from us here in Concord, but they are all over the state. That'd be Dover, Manchester, Nashua, Peterborough. I think they got a new place out in Keene, maybe, perhaps. And I think I saw they had an office in Hawaii. Oh, God, please let me have to go out there to visit them. Anyway, thank you for their sponsorship. Their URL, now I'm telling you, write it down. You want to put it on your refrigerator or with your legal papers. ShaheenGordon.com, ShaheenGordon.com. Their phone number is 603-614-5560. Come on, they do it all down there. If you hit the lottery, you know, you might need to send an old man some money. We might need a contract written up. So, keep me in mind. ShaheenGordon.com, 603-614-5560. 560. Okay. You know we do entertainment here. We love to talk about entertainment and the arts. Today we have two folks on the line, AJ Calandrino and Kristina Kessler. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I am well. I am so glad you guys took me up on the offer to do this. Your production company is called Christy Rex, is that correct?
Yes, Christy Rex Productions.
Okay. Let's just get back to the basics before we get into your upcoming, it's a short film, is that right?
Yep, yeah, 18-minute short film.
All right. Let's talk about your background for a second. So, which of you or all of you have the film background?
So that would be me. So I just graduated from Liberty with a bachelor degree in cinematic arts.
Okay.
Yep. And then for my associate producer, Kristina Kessler, if you want to talk about for you.
Yeah, I got my BSA acting degree also at Liberty University. And before that, I was still doing theater, and I grew up dancing, and then I did pageants for a while with the Miss USA organization.
Well, that's some credentials right there. My goodness. I tried for the Miss USA. Needless to say, I didn't make it, but that's a story for another day.
I think they do have a, Mr.
Don't
North
go there,
Carolina.
Kristina. Don't go there. It's not a pretty picture, let me tell you. Have you both been interested in film all along? I know, Kristina, you said you did theater, but where'd this hunger for film come from?
That is a great question. Well, actually, so I met AJ in the middle of productions, basically, at Liberty. But before that, I didn't get introduced until I was like a junior in college. But AJ, before, you want to share a little bit? You were in the military, and then you wrote a telenovela.
Yeah, so before I went into the military, I'd get together with friends from the neighborhood, and we'd kind of just, get the iPhones out, and we'd have little, airsoft guns that we'd use, and we'd just make little, war films just for fun and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But it was so fun, and when I joined the program at Liberty, it kind of brought back all that, just excitement and engagement, and to where I was like, wow, this is just as fun as it was, 10, 15 years ago when I was doing this with my friends in the neighborhood.
So you decide you're going to make a film, and now obviously you wanted to upgrade from an iPhone. Did you have access to all of that stuff, or did you have to go and buy it?
So at Liberty University, they have all the equipment that you need. So I checked it all out from there, and I was able to get some cast I found online. Others were kind of peers in the from Liberty and the acting program. But yeah, all the equipment was from there. I got it for free.
Dude, that's a score right there.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah, that's treasure. That's gold.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was such a blessing to have all
So
that.
you're in school and you're like, you wake up one day, hey, I think I want to do a short film. Now, there's a lot that comes with that, right? I mean, obviously, there has to be a storyline, and there has to be somebody to write that, and then someone has to scope out where you're going to do it and all this stuff, sites, and give me some background. We have yet to say what the film is, and we'll hold off for a little bit about that. But did you have any trepidation about even entering that area?
I did a little bit. Because I know as far as for pre-production, kind of the general rule of thumb is you want to spend 3 to 5 days for every one day that you're filming.
That never works out, AJ.
So
more like 3 to 5 weeks. But go ahead. Sorry.
So this was months in advance.
Yeah.
I was having to look at locations that would fit. I had already mainly written the script, and that was a process that was probably about a year of just writing the script and then editing it, and it was constant edits. I think I was on version like 9 or 11 by the time I kind of gave the final stamp of approval.
Did you, the sites that you're, all right, so we might as well get into a little bit about, what's the title of your film?
So the title of my short film is Dream Genocide.
Okay. Now, please give out the YouTube URL if you know it, or URL where people can find it, because I've seen it, at least the trailer, and it looks really cool. But go ahead and give that out.
Right. Yep. So if you YouTube Dream Genocide teaser trailer, it should pop up. If that doesn't, you can look on Instagram. Our film page is called Dream Genocide Short Film. It's all just one big word, and we have the trailer up there, and then all information on cast and crew and kind of locations and stuff like that.
I highly suggest people don't Google that term, Dream Genocide, because you never know what's going to end up showing in your history after that. So,
no, definitely YouTube under the Christe Rex production.
Correct.
Absolutely.
So, what's the summary of the short film?
Yep. So it follows a private investigator, and he has this machine that he brings to crime scenes, and he goes to whoever the victim is, and he plugs in this machine to the deceased. He plugs in the other end into his brain, and it allows him to relive all of their memories. And he essentially does this so he can see, how the crime happened, who did it. So he basically solves every crime. And this short film covers, he's been retired. He comes back for one last job, and essentially, the victim's memories he's going through, things aren't what he thought they would be. So
is that a cliffhanger right there? Is that a cliffhanger?
No, it is. Things are not as they seem.
So, okay. Actually, it's a great premise because he's retired. Now, how do you retire from that? Obviously, that means he was doing it previously, correct?
Right. So that's kind of the backstory that I tease in the very beginning. It's that he's had this incredible career. He's like number one. He's solving all these cases. And then he does this final case, and he sees something, and it's enough for him to just basically go, I don't ever want to do this again. And that's when his kind of personal life starts falling apart, and he becomes a bit of a recluse, and no one really sees him for about 10 years or so. And then that leads up to, the serial killer's been on the loose, and he finally comes back out of retirement for one last job to help the city.
I've got the trailer up right now, and about 24 seconds in, he opens up this briefcase, and there's this, I don't even know how to describe it. It's so cool. What an effect. Can you talk a little bit about this special effect, this briefcase? Because it looks so cool. It's like a time machine built into this briefcase thing.
Right. Yep. So our props designer, his name is John Weiss.
Props master, actually.
Yeah.
He's incredible at his job.
It looks it. He must be. It's so cool looking.
Yep. I kind of gave him a rough idea on what I wanted it to look like.
Yeah.
And he just took that idea and ran with it.
Man, some creatives are dangerous, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, but he fully designed it. It actually works. So when the lights are kind of turning on, that's all real. Like it actually,
it lights up.
It's amazing.
Oh my God. Okay, hang on. You hear the music? We gotta take a break. Woo, baby! You are listening to NH Unscripted. I hear you knocking. Yeah, that makes me your Dave Edmonds-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the YMCA-like conditions of the WKXL studios in Concord. You can smell the pool chlorine from here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord on your Sony Walkman, who gives a 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. We are talking film with the Christe Rex production, folks. We will be back in just a second. Welcome back to NH Unscripted, where tambourines and elephants are playing in the band. I am your Creedence Clearwater Revival-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the honeymooner-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. Norton! Yeah, that's for all us old folks. They get that reference. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM in Concord, 101.9 FM for the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. We are speaking with AJ and Kristina about their new film. They're from Christy Rex Productions. Did I pronounce that right? Christy? Did you? Is that how it's
Christe Rex Productions.
Christe,
yes, sir.
Christe, thank you. So you were telling me about this incredible briefcase effect that's posted in the trailer. I can't believe it actually works. I mean, that it functions. It's crazy. It looks like something out of like Back to the Future.
Right. Yeah. He kind of ran with the design for it, and it genuinely just blew my expectations out of the water, because I didn't really know what to expect. And yeah, it was a 10 out of 10. would hire him again for sure.
Yeah, you have some beautiful shots in here, by the way. That the opening shot with the hand running down the banister or the railing there, that is gorgeous. My gosh. And then there's some other shots in here. Did you do all the filming yourself?
I had my director of photography. Her name is Alina O'Hare. She did excellent work. I did the shot maps, so a lot of the shot ideas I kind of helped come up with. But I think that particular shot, we were just kind of walking around the city of Lynchburg looking for cool, unique shots. And we saw that one.
And then it does this Wizard of Oz thing where it kind of flips to black and white real quick there, and you get the feeling, obviously, he's going back in time or whatever. And that's a really cool shot as well. And then it, like, gives me epileptic fits because it starts flashing.
What AJ's not sharing is that he has a criminal justice background as well.
What?
He already has his bachelor's degree in that. So that certainly inspired more of a detective noir.
You can't be holding back that kind of goal. We need that information. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just get loose periodically.
Yeah, the film degree was my second degree, technically.
So that leads me into my question about, of all the genres that you could have gotten into, I guess that's why you ended up with this one? Because, I mean, you could have done a love story, you could have done comedy, but this is a very dark film.
Right. It started off as a novella idea that I kind of started writing and later abandoned, but I wanted to explore the idea of, truth versus ignorance, and having this detective where he's reliving so many memories, and, they don't necessarily line up with what he's reading in the newspapers each day. And so he's like, what is true, what is not, it's that battle of, does he want to know all the truth? Because then there's it's a vexation upon him.
Yeah. I'm telling you, the trailer, I'm hooked. Talk about the cast a little bit. Is there more people? There's like 5 people in your cast. Is that right?
I believe there's 5 major I think we have 9 in total. Some are more minor. But we had a Ryan Holland playing as a detective. He's based down in Texas. He did an incredible job. We had Emily Wagner as kind of the victim, Lily. Yeah, she was incredible. She's a fellow student of mine in my class. And then we had a lot of characters such as like her parents when he's going through the memories. They have her husband.
It's really interesting when we were doing casting. You have to try to find, if you're doing a family, you have to try to find people who look similar, have the same genetic background type of thing, features, all that. And so we actually casted 2 females who look very similar to each other.
It's the older and the younger, is that?
What did you ask?
That's the older woman and the child?
Yes.
Okay.
So essentially, because in the blur in the background of the trailer, you see this woman pick up this child, and I don't want to give any spoilers out, but
dang it.
Long story
it's just
short,
you and me. Don't worry.
Nobody could tell the difference between the two when we had our pre-screening done, and they were like, "That casting is crazy. How do they know who is who?" When really it's mom and daughter.
Yeah, it's just the mom. Yeah.
You know, that flashed by so fast. I didn't see that at first. I'm looking at it right now. That's crazy.
Yep, yeah, 2 different actors.
Wow. So did you hold open castings, or were these all just pretty much friends or schoolmates? Or
Actually, the primary way that we went about this time, because this was kind of our first launching as Kristina Rex Productions, was we did something more low-key, and we went the Instagram social media route. We put postings on Facebook groups, and then really just a casting list through our Instagram, which is Dream Genocide Short Film. And that way we had people share a post and submit that way through our email, which is soon to change. Currently, we still have our Dream Genocide short film things up there, but we're about to relabel and put our production company name up there soon.
Did many people apply? Did you have good response?
We did. I think for the lead detective, I think I only had a few, but Ryan's his self-tape was just so good, I didn't even want to see anyone else. He was kind of I just saw that, and I was like, yep, that's him.
That's impressive.
For some of the others, I think we had about maybe 10 or 15 each.
Wow.
It was a good-sized pool for what we needed, for sure.
Now, you had mentioned that this was not really your first. This is your first on one level, but so did people know you from before? I guess that's my question.
Well, AJ actually had done a couple feature films where he worked as a camera operator and a script supervisor.
This guy he doesn't give us any of this information. What is going on here?
I guess that's my job.
Oh, my God.
It was through Liberty. Yeah, they do a feature film a year.
And so this was actually his first written and directed self-work, where I got to help produce and do wardrobe and hair makeup. And so we were a great tag team, I think.
Man, what did you find to be the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome to get it done?
Many.
Yeah.
Well, we got a few minutes. I'm here. You might as well just spill the beans.
For me, it would really be that me and Kristina both had that producer role, which producing a film and also directing it, and it's just a lot. So kind of all the logistics of making things work was a lot.
Yeah.
And, we had a couple of times where a location would fall through and we're scrambling, the day of, hours before the shoot to find another location to film at.
Where it's still legal and people still sign off and it's safe and it's, there's no traffic.
Yeah.
There's so many factors in finding locations. It kind of blows my mind. One of the things that we filmed in was like a cemetery. And so thank God it was like an old cemetery where the policies had not been as strict as modern cemeteries, because we did check out another one. They were like, nope, you can't film here. It's a private only. So.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend up here in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, who he loves horror films. And what he had done was he waited until there was a Halloween parade at night, and he used that whole Halloween parade as backdrop, and he would film going in and out of the parade. Everybody there had no idea. They just assumed he was just filming for the parade people, but it was like getting 10,000 extras for nothing. He was just, yeah.
I wonder if that's legal.
Well,
That's
okay,
amazing.
maybe I didn't say that,
That's amazing. That's really cool, though.
Isn't it? Yeah, that when you said you use that cemetery, I get the whole gist of trying to get stuff, not free, but and having to need permission, because that's like just because if you had to film that on a lot or some kind of studio lot, they charge you through the nose.
Yep.
Absolutely, and that's why we need funding for more projects.
Well, it's funny
do
you
bigger
bring
and
that up, Kristina, huh? What do you hope to do with the film now?
I would love to enter it into some film festivals and kind of see how it does as my debut short film. And after that, I will be placing it online, kind of just for anyone to view.
Yeah.
So as of right now, it's kind of working as a concept idea for a feature-length film.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what we've been talking about recently. But AJ's actually in the works right now of writing a pilot for this big futuristic TV show, which is really
Hang on. My gosh, another cliffhanger. We're putting a pin in that right there. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, baby, we are honky catting it here. I am your Elton John-like host, Ray Dudley, coming to you from the Hollywood squares-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. I love to sit in the center square, the old Paulin Square. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. We are talking with AJ Calandrino and Kristina Kessler, and we're talking about their film, Dream Genocide. Oh, we got a lot more to dig out. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. We are just one toke over the line, sweet Jesus. I am your brewer and Shipley-like host, Ray Dudley, coming to you from the dating game-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. That's Concord, New Hampshire. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. The poor kids got the 8. Rich kids all got the 16 transistors. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. We are talking with AJ Calandrino and Kristina Kessler about their project, Dream Genocide. That's their short film, 18 minutes. Oh, how many film festivals are there in your area, and what's the barrier there to get in?
That is a very good question.
Thank you.
I know there are just so many. I did take one of the classes we took was they covered what film festivals are the best to enter in at first, because that first film festival you enter into, you kind of want that to be the big one because that's your debut, that's the premiere. So you usually don't want to do kind of like a smaller local film festival for that. You want to go kind of big.
Okay.
Actually, that's how the film La La Land got started.
What?
Yes, so the director and writer of that originally had a script that was a thesis film from his college film school, and he took it to film festivals, and if I remember correctly, they were like, yeah, this is good, but do you have anything else in your back pocket like that we could actually produce for you? And investors were very interested in his work and his style because it was like a jazz documentary. And he was like, yeah, I worked on something, but I put it in the drawer a while ago, and I really don't want to touch it. I don't think it's any good. And they were like, well, let's see it, make some edits, and then we'll see what we can do about that because we want to see what else you write. And that was La La Land,
oh my
actually,
God.
Which is, it's an award-winning film and actually one of my favorites and inspires us so much in the creative process. So,
my gosh. I'm going to assume that one of the hurdles you're going to have to overcome is like an entry fee, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're not cheap, I think, to get into some of these festivals.
Right, and then there's a chance you could submit and pay the money and everything, and then it doesn't even get accepted.
Yeah.
So it can be risky.
Yeah, we have a huge festival up here in Portsmouth, New Hampshire every year, and it's huge, the New Hampshire Film Festival. It's huge. huge.
Wow.
And they have a lot of film stars come up and do talks and stuff. And again, I'm pretty sure it's not cheap to get in, but it runs like 3 or 4 days, and they have
Right.
they have passes and all that stuff. Is the film? Do you think right now, since I only see the trailer, is the film itself finished, polished, and ready to go?
I'd say it's about 95% done. There were some audio.
A film is never done.
Yeah. When we did the public screening a couple weeks ago, there was a few audio things I'd like to clean up. Maybe another voiceover line to add in. So like small things like that, but it shouldn't take long to put that in. But yeah, it's mostly done. It's all colored.
And what's the software that you use for that?
Christina, you're doing my job.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fired. but thank you. Yes, what is the software you used?
So I originally edited all of it in Premiere Pro, but when I colored, Jonathan Spate colored the film. It's better to color in DaVinci Resolve.
I love DaVinci, but go ahead.
It's a different software, so it was a bit challenging having to keep converting all the files from Premiere Pro to DaVinci Resolve, and then get it colored. And then I did the VFX work in Premiere Pro, so I had to also take those files, put it into DaVinci, get it colored, and then bring it all back into Premiere.
Man, what a nightmare.
It was a lot, but we managed to get it done.
Wow. Were you running up against deadlines? Was there something that you were trying to aim for, or was it?
I think
did you have a little
also
time?
something that we're not talking about is that we had to shoot.
Wait a minute. Something else we're not talking about? Go ahead.
So my motto is limitation breeds creativity, right? So we had 5 days to shoot this short film.
Dang.
It was 10.
It was technically 10, but we had a lot of mishaps with transportation and such. So we had about a week to do this whole short film with 12 days. And we have to give our actors and cast and crew a break to eat lunch, which is a dinner or meal break in between shots. And then we also had deadlines. So we didn't have, the full year that we would want to really pour into this. It was kind of just an assignment at first, and then it just kind of spiraled into this beautiful creative launching pad for us that we really poured so much love and energy into. But we didn't know we were going to have that little time in the beginning. And now we have what we have. So it's really cool.
Wow. Still looking at the trailer. There's 115,000 views on that.
Is it really?
That's what it says, if I've got it right here. Yeah. 115,000 views. That's insane. Who the heck's... You found some kind of a niche here. Somebody's liking what you're doing, passing the word around.
Wow. I didn't know it had that, but I haven't checked it in a while, so it might it's gone viral or something.
Something, I'm telling you. It's crazy. And that's 3 months ago, it says. 115,841 views, and that's 3 months ago.
Well, I'm wondering how you all found us.
So I was on Instagram, and I was following someone, and they were following you. And I thought, wait, who are these people? Because I thought you were more local here to New Hampshire, because the person I was following is from New Hampshire. And I thought, oh, well, it'd be great to get him in the studio, because I love I'm fascinated with film. I'm a theater person at heart, but the film genre just is beautiful. The medium fascinates me. And so that's how I reached out to you a few weeks ago. But just, it's all networking, right? It ends up being, I know this person who knows that person, and rabbit hole stuff. Isn't that crazy?
Right. And what's funny that you mentioned that is Ryan Holland, our lead actor, when he responded to the casting call and he sent in his tape, we didn't place that we were in Virginia on the actual self-tape paper we sent out. So
minor detail.
It was something local to Texas. So he was like, when he got the role, he was like, "Oh, you're only in Virginia."
A little travel involved there. Not exactly a day player.
It's funny. He said, he's like, if I knew it was in Virginia at first, I don't think I would have even submitted for it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you very pleased with the way it came out?
I am. I'm very pleased. I think it's shot beautifully. The music is great. The audio is great. I believe the acting is superb.
Did it translate from literal idea to film properly for you? I know sometimes it doesn't.
I would say it did. There are some things I wish did translate better, and I think that is just from, putting it from the script to the screen. There's some nuances that kind of get lost, and some like very subtle things I wanted to hint at that you can see in the script because you read it, but then on screen, if you kind of flash it too quick or you don't focus on it enough, it can just be completely lost and people can overlook it.
Yeah.
Something that I did notice as well is that because I think AJ is 31 and I'm 21, we have different levels of, thematic themes that we've noticed while watching the film because there's an age gap between us. So when we showed the pre-screening first with, the final product of what we had started showing, the reaction was not initially what we had expected. I think because the students were the primary targeted audience that we had, there's more mature thematic elements involved than I think what they would understand at that level. But it's also, you want to talk about that, the through line of...
Yeah, I think it's just a more mature story. I guess like an older teenager, younger 20-year-old could understand it, but I think it really hits home if you're kind of more of a mature, older.
So I like to think I'm in that category.
You're right.
So the market you were going for was not. It was that. This is an interesting concept. So you got feedback from obviously different demographics, and they kind of reacted to it differently. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because when I wrote it, my target audience, I guess I had in mind was probably late 20s, early 30s to like 50s and 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And because it deals with themes, such as like knowledge versus ignorance. There's, justice versus mercy, the balance between that. And then I don't want to spoil, but the main thing that the detective kind of has to overcome, and it goes back to the reason why he stopped.
Okay, hang on. Oh, a third cliffhanger. My gosh, we're just piling them on here. You are listening to NH Unscripted. Sooner or later, love is going to get you, and I am your grassroots-like host, Ray Dudley. We are talking with AJ Calandrino and Kristina Kessler about their short film, Dream Genocide. We are coming to you from the studios of WKXL in Concord, New Hampshire, 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. We will be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. You lucky dogs, you. We are your Judy in disguise with glasses. That makes me your John Fred and Playboy band-like host, Ray Dudley. We are coming to you from the Taj Mahal-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. My God, it's cavernous in here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkman, Sony players. Whatever that thing used to be. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. We are talking film, and specifically a film called Dream Genocide. AJ and Kristina, you were regaling us about how the reaction. AJ, you thought the market was more an older, more mature market. Kristina, you, as someone younger, I won't repeat your age necessarily, but I'll keep that a secret. And you saw it a little bit differently. Was it a big contrast, do you think? And do you think that will continue?
I'm not sure. I think sitting down, and, I also had my close friends there, they were kind of in shock the whole way through.
Really?
And they weren't really sure how to react. because there was just so much input that they didn't know how to output a reaction. I think that's honestly the culmination of what I gathered from sitting through it.
No kidding.
Yeah, I would say when someone does watch the film, it may even be better the second time viewing it, because I have a lot of very subtle things that it's very easy to overlook the first time you watch. And then when you get to the end and you kind of realize what's happened, then you're like, oh. And then you see it the second time and you're like, oh, now I see all these little things that have been getting teased throughout it and how it leads up to the ending.
Is the full film available for people in general to watch?
Currently, it is not. It is.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me here.
Unfortunately, we have to go through the festival circuit first before it can be released.
Yeah, if I did upload it to YouTube or something, film festivals, they don't want it because they kind of want, like, the new premiere. They want, like, the first dibs on it.
They're so spoiled.
So, they wouldn't want it if it's been available already.
Oh, God forbid there should be word of mouth taking that thing along the way. God.
But he does, we do have a YouTube channel where AJ's previous works are on there.
They might be private, but there is one thing I did earlier.
Yeah, so there's not a lot out there. If you're talking about Christe Rex Productions, there is not much out there. Yeah,
it's an earlier school thing that I think it was all right, but...
But now we're on the launch pad to get started as a freelance filmmaking, which is really exciting because we're located now in what do you call it? The Triangle area in North Carolina, which is kind of Raleigh, Wake Forest, Youngsville area. And so from there, we're going to start gathering all of our pre-production materials again and hopefully start on a pilot here soon. Once we get our crew squared away and
funding.
Yeah. Boy, that's the big one, is it not? Funding. Yeah, good luck. You can get in line for that one. I'll tell you, my gosh. You need someone like A24 to pick it up and just say, "Well, this is beautiful," you know.
That would be amazing.
Would it not, huh? Yeah, would it not? So
that is so funny you said that.
Oh, is there something going on here I should know about? Just you and me. You can, let me know.
We're just praying that, the right doors will open and we can continue to spread love and joy.
A lot of the time it's just that, right? It gets somebody hands it off to somebody who hands it off to somebody, and the next thing you know, you're getting an email or a phone call. It can be that simple.
Right.
Or not.
You never know.
Or not. Now, you said that you were thinking maybe of making it into a full-length movie. Sometimes things don't actually make that leap, right? You think you want to make it into like a 90-minute film or 108-minute film, but there's just not enough actual good stuff to make it a real good film. Do you think there's enough material that you could flesh it out that long?
I think it is. There's more than enough material because I had to cut so many cool scenes out, and
rearrange shots to make It was originally supposed to be 15 minutes. That was all we were given.
That was the time, yeah, and that was I don't even know how I would have done that. But there's so many different ideas and themes that I've kind of put in this to where I think it would be almost better in a 90-minute format to really expand upon those and introduce kind of different themes.
There'd be a heck of a lot more work. I mean, a lot more work.
Yeah, but it's nothing the filmmaker can't handle.
Well, look at you, like an old seasoned soul. Yeah, maybe it is, Ray, maybe not, When you said you were locked into this 15-minute time frame, who did that come from? The school, or was that self-imposed?
That was from the school for kind of like the thesis film requirements, and it eventually kind of extended to 20 minutes because everyone's films were just all over. But yeah, to hit that 15-minute mark is very tight, and the script itself was 16 pages, and usually one page of a script is roughly a minute. in a film. So I kind of figured like, oh, it'd be maybe 16 minutes, but just with everything. And then when you add credits, you know,
Oh, yeah.
I think my credits are a minute. So next thing you know, I was in the 18-ish minute range.
You had also mentioned, I want to get back to the festival type of thing. I'm not familiar with the festivals that are down there. Is there some that you could name that we might know of we might be familiar with down there?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I know kind of like the big ones in the U.S., such as like I know Sundance is a popular one.
There's a few in Arizona that have been suggested to us, actually. And we're still in the research process of, filtering through what would be best for our genre, because there's also, there's some film festivals that are women only. There's some that are
like horror film only.
Yeah.
So we just really have to filter through that and just be diligent and smart with, discerning, who else we're competing with as well, and what they're looking for, and if our mission statements really align, because that's truly what's the most important for us.
What is your mission statement, now that you bring it up?
I'm very glad you asked that.
Thank you.
I think that we would love to be just voices of wholesome, positive entertainment, and we really want to bring glory, to the Lord, to Jesus.
Like Angel Films? Like Angel Studios?
Right, something, similar to that, and to where we're just covering topics that are really going to inspire people and be just very wholesome. I know this short film is more dark, but...
Understatement. That's an understatement.
You mentioned something we actually stumbled upon in our research recently. We were wondering why the Golden Age was so, put on a pedestal, and how beautiful it was, in Hollywood. When you look back, the Golden Age was only, 30 years of just beautiful, timeless, classic relationships and circumstances. We learned that the Hays Code of 1930 was enacted right then and there for the next 30 years, where it was all based off of the Catholic Church, where their foundations had to be wholesome and pure. There was no nudity on screen. You couldn't suggest certain things. And so we really want to bring kind of the Hollywood aspect of Golden Age back in a way, but more so in a way that suits everybody as well, and brings back the goodness back into our culture, and really the classic era and the timeless feel.
Man, have we strayed from that. My goodness gracious. And good luck with that. I mean, that is a heavy lift. Good luck. But it's being done. I mean, Angel, they're doing it. So it can be done. And there's a market for it. It's a huge market. Huge.
Right. Yep. And I think people want that just wholesome, uplifting, content again. And I think there's a huge untapped market that's just eager for good things like that.
Yeah. So where do you go from here? Do you have like a pile of other scripts that you want to do, or now do you have to go back to the drawing board and start? Oh, seriously? Go ahead, quick, get it in.
I have a few I'm working on. I'm excited to see where they go. A TV pilot, a couple other short films. So
okay,
door in the back drawer.
Okay. Thank you. You have been listening to AJ Calandrino and Kristina Kessler about their new film, talking about their new film, short film, Dream Genocide. So happy to have had you here today. Thank you for coming along.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. We're very grateful.
You are welcome. You have been listening to NH Unscripted. We are dragging the line, baby. That makes me your Tommy James and Shondel's like host, Ray Dudley. We're coming to you from the Green Acres like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. I should have told you what's going on out there. Hey, I'm old. What can I say? We'll see you on the next one.